Hi folks, how are you? Greg from AOK here in Rock Hill, New York. We're doing one of our maintenance projects. We also service homes on the off-season and seasonal to maintain them, either whether it's landscaping or building or both, or any part of your property we can manage and maintenance on a year-round basis. Each property is different depending upon the scope of what you want us to do. But keep in mind we do that, and visit our website and you can find the link for the management and property maintenance section. Alright, but we're here in Rock Hill and show you a little bit what we do here. As you can see, this is a very rustic, natural landscape that was done back in the 70s when these homes were built. And we are simply just maintaining it and keeping it up. There's a lot of tree coverage, doesn't get a lot of sunlight, so there's certain things that work better than others, and for the most part we have a lot of those in. This particular property is a new property, and we are adding to it, but before we do that we want to kind of salvage what's here. Always thinking green, trying to keep things the way they are, but some things are so far gone they have to be taken out and removed and replaced. So just take a walk around with us, we'll show you what's going on. We have all this rock landscaping, which is called hard landscaping. You have a soft landscaping, which would be flowers, and your hard landscaping is, you know, your railroad ties and your gazebos and your stone and, you know, anything, statues, anything that you particularly may like in that area. Just take a walk around. You can see this is the third truckload that we've taken out of here, because the property is pretty big and there is a lot of landscaping, so it needs a lot of love. So we've taken everything back. Joe's just going to pan around on the driveway, and you can see this driveway was basically completely overgrown. So everything's been cut back and cleaned out and pruned back to what's healthy, and you know, a couple years of steady maintenance, things will come right back, but it's going to need a couple of years to get it back to its original integrity. Come around back, we're going to show you a little more. Today we're also power washing the deck and going to stain that. Also something that's been, you know, rather neglected. I'll show you the buildup. Especially when projects are in shaded areas, it's much easier for mildew and moss and those type of things to build up, because the deck really never dries out. So you can see here the buildup on all the steps over, and this is a few years. This isn't something that happened over one season, but we'll be able to get it all back looking good. We'll sand it down after we power wash, and then we put a coat of stain on it, whatever the customer likes. Provide you a color chart and you make the call. Alright, just take a quick walk up here. And this particular deck is done in redwood, which is today off the chart expensive, but compared to composite, probably not so bad. But it's hard to find. So we're going to salvage what we can. The other side's in much worse shape. We're ripping off a section there and replacing it with pressure treated for now. But all this will be salvageable, and you'll see the before and after. This is a very grunged up, build up, years of lack of maintenance, and we'll get it back, you know, looking pretty much like new. And around here, I'll show you the rotted section. Come around here, Joe. And you see basically the same conditions throughout, around 2/3 of the deck, because this side does get some sun, as you can see some glistening through, but this side gets none, and you can see that this is in twice disrepair versus what we have here. I'm careful working out here, I don't want to go too far, but you can see this whole section is completely rotted away, and they've even made the attempt to add sister beams on several years back to give it a little more life, which it did, but at this point I recommended to the customer that it's, you know, this is time to take it down and redo it. So we've also taken off about 8 feet from the end, which was even worse shape than this. So this will get rebuilt, and we're going to put a set of stairs down, so he has access and entrance from this side of the deck, which is the lake side. Joe, just spin around there. And we'll take you out there in the next segment. This trail leads down to a beautiful, picturesque area where you can do a little boating. And we're also going to be redoing that, designing it, landscaping it, and, you know, bringing it to its full potential. So this is Greg from AOK. We'll bring you back to Rock Hill, New York in the next segment.